album that I feel is a special bass line to me that uh, represents me in the band. Um, so yeah, and then in between songs, we can all unmute and then maybe do a little Q&A conversation, and then go into the next song. So it'll be kind of like a play along, but with some Q&A stuff. So hopefully you hear some songs that you like. I definitely picked bass favorite songs instead of fan favorite songs. So, with that being said, let's just go ahead and start playing some music, right? So I'll just start playing a song first, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. And again, thank you all for coming. Let's rock. Can you hear my bass? Awesome. All right, here we go.
Don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop.
Who heard the mistakes? Cool. All right. So, of course, I forgot to mute my microphone. But so that's "Don't Want to Stop." It's off of our first album. It's one of the first songs we wrote. It was way before we ever got signed, and this song is special to me because there's a lot of bass moments in it, but what I really remember about this song is laying in my bed in my bedroom in my parents' house, working on those verses for hours and hours, trying to come up with each one of those turnarounds. So like where I go like that took like hours to come up with. I came up with like a million different things, but then finally landed on, and then the other one goes right. But the other reason why that song is special to me is because when we were on tour with MXPX, we played San Antonio for the first time, and this kid came up to me after the show, because we used to just stand out at the merch booth and try to meet people. And this kid came up to me after the show and was like, I heard that song, I Don't Want to Stop. Man, you can really play the bass. I was like, all right, well, that song shows people that I can play bass. So all those hours spent in my bed practicing the G major scale, because that's what this song is in, paid off because I got a compliment about my bass playing about it. This song never became a single or anything, but it is one of my personal favorites. So that song was recorded on a 5-string, G&L bass with producer Don Gilmore. And yeah, that song is taking it way back. And I felt like definitely on the earlier album, on the first album, it's one of the songs where my playing kind of stands out a bit and adds something to the song. Not just like I'm over here doing fancy stuff, but like it makes the song elevate to a new thing, you know? So that song was really special to me. And there's not much to it, right? It's just pretty much 2 parts. And like I said, it's in G major. But we won't go into a big breakdown of the structure of the song and stuff like that. Just kind of, you know, an overall about that song and how it's so special to me. Has anybody heard that one before? Yeah? Cool. Well, this next one we're going to do, maybe you guys have heard this one before. So that song was in standard tuning, and all of our albums are recorded in different tunings, and then it's like each album was recorded in a different tuning, and then when we got older, each song on the album is recorded in a different tuning. So you'll be seeing me switch basses a lot. That song is recorded in standard tuning, and this song is recorded in half step down, so D flat tuning. You got bass, right? Okay. And here we go. We'll just kind of roll into the next song here.
Educated with money, he's well dressed, not funny, and not much to say in those conversations, but he'll put the bill in all situations, 'cause he pays for everything. Girls sound like boys, girls like cards and money. Boys will laugh at girls when they're not funny. Paper or plastic, don't matter, she'll have it. Vacations and shopping sprees, these are a few of her favorite things. She'll be what she wants if she's willing to please. His type of girl always comes with a fee. Head out, there's nothing for free. Girls sound like boys, girls like cards and money. Boys will laugh at girls when they're not funny.
that song was a pretty big song. We had a hysterical video to go with it, featuring us and a whole bunch of elderly. We filmed it in New Zealand. The elderly are abundant there. They're doing very well. And this song is important to me for playing bass because the song sounded completely different before I came in with that bass line. Because Benji wrote this part at the beginning, this guitar part. And then there wasn't really much of a rhythm feel to go with it. And then I got to be producer for a minute, and I referenced a song that I thought would be a cool groove to fit in there. And this is the song. So this is Gary Newman. For some reason I heard that do 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 do, like that kind of cadence or phrasing, and then I just tried out that bass line, and then at first I was just doing that over and over again, just. But then the real producer stepped in, Eric Valentine, and was like, let's put some more variation to the notes. So we do this thing where we kind of lay around the E major, and we go, right? And then, so we added in those colors, those notes, and then we were still not quite happy with it. What we thought would make it even more punchier is if it was all hard palm muted. And what's interesting about the way that we did this one is Eric actually sat here holding the bass here while I played it like normal. So he was the palm muted hand and I was just going to town on it, and that's how we got it like extra, like more than I could actually do with my hand, with just one person. And I really thought the tonality we captured with that bass, that song was recorded on a Fender 4-string jazz. Almost the whole Young and Hopeless album was recorded on that bass. Sadly, that bass got lost throughout the years. Somehow, at the Anthem video shoot, all of our gear from the studio was sent to the video shoot, and then not all of it made it back. And that bass was one of them, and it's such a bummer, because I played the whole Young and Hopeless album with it. Our biggest album. I don't have the bass. And then every other album was almost somebody else's bass. So that is unfortunate, but that is that's a very big one for me, and it's also one of my favorite songs to play live. So if you come see us live, that one will definitely be in the set list. I don't know if we've ever played a show where we haven't played that song. What do you think, Kelly? Don't know. All right, moving on to the next song. So we're just taking a trip down memory lane here, right, folks? Because all of these songs are old, so old, just like me. I just had a birthday. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. If anybody was in on that, that was really sweet. But I'm 40 now, so that's old. Craziness. So these songs are as old as me. Okay, so moving on. This next song is... Okay, that last song was off of the album, The Young and the Hopeless. This will be off of The Chronicles. This song was a single. It actually was a big hit in South America. The world's a big place. Interesting how every territory is different in their tastes. But yeah, so I'm going to play this one now. And we haven't played this one live for a long time. A lot of these songs you're going to hear, you probably won't hear a good Charlotte play live. Who knows? Other than like Girls and Boys or any of the other hits. So with this one, I don't need a pick. And are we doing good with the way it's sounding and it's all cool? Awesome. That was so hard to set up. I'm glad it's working. it's a great song. Sorry, I messed up a couple times there. That's the next one. Um, yeah, there's a couple of mess ups in that one, and I do apologize for that. Let me explain to you why. I actually can't hear this at all. I wasn't able to figure out how to route the sound from the studio session into GarageBand and into a separate, or into Zoom, and then also me hear it at the same time too. So the way I'm doing is I'm playing along with the songs and just can't really hear myself. So there's occasional mistakes, and I apologize. And I'm just rusty. Okay, so this song is super fun for me, mostly in the verses. I love those verses. It was another thing where Eric, the producer of this album, Eric Valentine, he just kept pushing me because the verses are just three notes that repeat. Or no. Right, it's those three notes over and over again. The guitar is just doing those three notes over and over again. And I kept trying to come up with, it's always been my school of thought that less is more. That way you're not stepping on the vocals. That way Benji and Joel's harmonies can stand out more. But everything I came up with, Eric was like, you gotta do something more. We need something more on this one. So just after a lot of tinkering around, I came up with this whole chord progression with the plucking the fingers over here like this. And then of course Eric, being the master of variation, he's like, how about on the last one? He has me stretching out to that. Oh yeah, it's up here. Which, looks kind of impressive to do, right? But that was a super fun song. And then also the whole descending back to ascending back to descending bass line at the end over the final chorus is another great moment where I felt like I had an idea that everybody was receptive to, and it just helped elevate the song and have a whole different chorus at the end, even though it's the same chord progression over and over again. It just helps the song, grow and keep changing, right? So it's just not the same thing over and over again. Alright, so that was off of The Chronicles of Life and Death. Going to move on to Good Morning Revival was the name of our fourth album. And a lot of big songs on this one. And I'm going to play a single. It's definitely a song that revolves around the bass. And for this one, I'm going to use a distortion pedal, so I hope I don't, rock your socks off too much over there. So, okay, let's keep rolling, and then we'll just do like a little open Q&A at the end. I was thinking in between each song, but I guess maybe just at the end will be a little more cohesive to this experience. That's too soon. Hold on. Okay. Live, I have a click, and I never miss the downbeat. Right now, I'm gonna miss this downbeat, but then I'll catch up.
Carry me on bags, and you know you should know you have to leave the my neck and my chain.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The vocals sound great tonight. I don't know what's going on. So that song's super fun because I don't even have to worry about turning off the distortion pedal. It is on the entire song. And it starts with me, which, I like. That's fun. And we do play this song often live, so I get to have that moment live where it's like, I get to start a song. So that is super fun song. What I can say about this one is the bridge is kind of taken from a song with a similar bass tone. Muse song. You ever hear that song by Muse? I forget what it's called. Out of somebody's saving me here. I forget what that song's called, but you can look it up. But that verse is very similar to those same notes. Oops. Okay, sorry. Pardon me. Gotta make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay, so that song is also another little anecdote about that one. It's really fun. That album was recorded with Don Gilmore, who recorded our first album. So we did the first album with Don Gilmore, the second and third with Eric Valentine, then the fourth one with Don Gilmore. And Supermassive Black Hole. That's it. That's a good one. That's a great song. I love that band. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. The bass player is... I should know his name, but that's just how it goes with bass players. Right? Okay, so that song, we recorded it on a 5-string Ernie Ball, and the distortion pedal we used was just a Boss Super Overdrive. But what happened was somebody wrote on top of it Don's, and then Super, and then they put a L in front of the over, so it said Don's Super Lover Drive. And I'll never forget that. And it sounded amazing, and I hope he still has that pedal somewhere with that written on it. And that song is kind of the beginning of, it like kind of shows like not like the departure of like where we were musically, when we were in our younger albums, but kind of like where we were going towards with like incorporating a lot more sounds, like a lot more sonic stuff going on, a lot of digital elements on top of the guitars and buried tracks and things, and that element has not left our band since this album. So it started on this album, and then it's just kind of been something we can't get away from. We love the ear candy. It's we put our fancy pants on and we make music, apparently. So that is a good one. Keep Your Hands Off My Girl was the name of that one. And, okay, here we go. Now we get into Cardiology. Anybody familiar with that album? We refer to it in the band as the one that got away. It's our little secret piece of like thing. It's like, well, all right, well, if nobody wants to listen to it, we're not going to play it. So we only kind of played these songs when we toured this album, and then we took a long break, and when we came back, we just haven't really been playing these songs. That's not entirely true. We play some of them in Australia because it was a very big album in Australia, and it would be wrong to those fans to not play it there, where they like made it a #1 album. So this is the first song. I guess it's the first song. We have intros. I don't really count those as songs. But this is the first song off of that album, and it's also one of my favorites for the bass. Hope I don't screw it up.
just keep holding on. I've never been more alone than here. I turn and face my darkest fear. I just got to keep on keeping on. And when it all comes crashing down, listen to the sound. What do I do when it's up and down? When the words have all been sung, and I've given up the best of me. Let the music play. When I'm hanging by a thread, and I've got nothing to give. Let the music play. Let the music
All right, Cardiology, the one that got away. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Silent applause, please. Silent applause. I prefer my applauses silent. Yeah, jazz hands. Thank you. Nah, you guys are awesome. By the way, I'm loving this. So yeah, I mean, I feel awkward as hell, but I am absolutely loving this. It's great seeing your faces. So that song's "Let the Music Play," and obviously the bass just goes for a walk in that chorus. It just doesn't stop. I actually don't even know what the chords are to that song. I just know that bass line. Yeah, I think the song's in D major. That's what that it's a D major scale. I know that's what I'm playing. But yeah, so that song to me is actually one of the best songs Benji and Joel have written lyrically, and I think the music matches the lyrics really well. And when I first heard the demo of this song, I got really, really excited about the album that would eventually be the album that got away. But so this was a really good song to play. We did play it live when we toured this album, but not so much since then. Maybe once or twice. But it's a really good, fun song. And again, that's off the album Cardiology, which came out in 2010, right when my daughter was born. So I got to be home for 2 weeks after she was born, and then I left on like a 2-month tour around the world to promote the album. My wife is amazing. Just putting that out there for the record. She's put up with a lot. So yeah, that was maybe that's why Cardiology was so stressful too. All right, moving on. Grown stuff, grown people, grown folk problem. Okay, so now we're moving into after our 5-year hiatus, and we are going to Youth Authority, which came out. Sometimes I say Authorita, you know, I'm just goofy like that. This came out in 2015, I think, ish. 17? 13? 12? 16? 2006? 2016? 17? I said 2017. Okay. Alright, you guys know better than I do, apparently. Alright, so this was the album where we came back, right? We made this album with John Feldman. We had known John Feldman with Goldfinger and had worked with him a bunch. He actually helped write previous songs like The Anthem and some other songs. And then we did a whole album with him, which I was really excited to do. One of my favorite albums of all time, the Used record that John Feldman made, is one of my favorite records of all time. So I was really excited to make an album with him because he's really good at producing. And so we made this album, and I have the right bass. this again, it's the first track off the album, and I really like this bass line a lot too, because you'll notice that like there's a commonality with these things. The bass lines I like a lot, move around a lot. They're fun to play, and this is one of them. I feel like the chorus sounded one way, and then I wrote a bass line that moves a lot, and now the chorus has like a swing feel to it that it didn't have before. So let's check that one out with Life Changes.
Let's go now, it's open season. Going through these life changes, gotta keep my feet moving. Gonna keep my eyes open, gonna keep my mind racing. Keep on trying to survive the fast life. You know they say that nothing lasts forever. You know they said we never stay together. It's a long way down, can't turn back now. Go through these life changes, go through these life changes. Let's go!
So that was Life Changes. Man, I realized. So thank you. In playing that, I realized, not being able to hear myself, but hear this. I've been doing this fill wrong since 2000 what? 16. Is that what somebody said? We want the river. Haha. Can't do that in normal shows. Laugh out loud. 2016, you goob. Okay. That's it. 2016 is what it was. All right. So, yeah, that one is in C sharp minor, or E major, but I focus more on the C sharp minor presence in the song. So like the first time around the chorus, it's very straight, just 4 notes, right? But then I realized I've been going, and I believe what I just heard was, yeah, that's what it was. I've been playing it wrong the whole time. But you know what? People don't notice those things live. So, so there's a couple of things. There's a thing called demoitis, where you are stuck with just how it sounded on the demo. You can't get it out of your head, and the final version is just not as good as the demo. That's demoitis. I don't know if there's live-itis, but I think so, because I'm finding that out with a lot of these songs. Like, oh, I played it totally different live than how I recorded it. So, but that one's really fun because there's just a lot more moving once I start moving it around, and it kind of just like gives it this whole like swinging, swaying feel. But I am seeing that we're like cruising through the time here, so I'm just going to roll to the next song so we can have 10 minutes of discussion at the end, okay? I had more songs. I just didn't know how fast we were going to go through. Maybe we'll do it again. I don't know. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's play one more song from our last album, Generation X. I don't know when this came out either. I'm just bad with years. It's like 17? No, 18. It's 17. It was 17, wasn't it? No, 19. Anyway, I know all that information's available online. So let's get through this song so we can have a little talk at the end of this. And yeah, this is Shadow Boxer off of Generation RX. Another one where I hope to hit the downbeat on time without a click. Do I have the right bass? I do. Okay, sorry. And rock. Okay. So that is one of each album of one of my favorite bass lines to play, or that I think like kind of makes me stand out, or I don't know, shows my contribution to the band or whatever. That was my first go through. I have more, but we are running out of time. I did want to talk with you guys a little bit, see if you guys wanted to say anything or ask any questions. But yeah, just really quickly on that song, that one's really fun because there's no other Good Charlotte song like it. That riff, the main riff in the beginning and at the end, is definitely the heaviest Good Charlotte riff ever written. It was written by Benji and the producer Zach Cervini, and on the bass, it incorporates all 5 strings, and I love that. But it also makes it really hard to play. The bridge, especially, where it's a lot faster. But I think I got through it well enough, better than the other guys would do live. Anyway, but that's a different story. Okay, so if you guys want to open up and unmute yourself and just have a I mean, I'm used to hearing my wife's kindergarten class, so I imagine you guys will be a little bit different than that. But yeah, go ahead and unmute if you have a question. Are you allowed to unmute yourself? Or do I have to unmute you?
You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Also, hi, Mirabelle?
Mirabelle, yep.
How you doing? Bass
I
player.
am doing well. Hmm?
Awesome. Thanks for spending an hour with me.
Mm-hmm.
Us. You're not alone.
Okay.
How are you doing? Have you been to a Good Charlotte show before?
No, I haven't actually. Celine was actually the one who recommended that I come to this because I play bass, but I actually did not know. I'd heard the name Good Charlotte. I have not listened to any of your songs yet. So.
So,
That's awesome.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So, is anyone has a bass guitar with him or her? Like, want to ask some questions? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Nice bass.
So I was just recording.
Yeah, I mean, like, they don't have to be bass questions. They can be just, I don't know, any kind of questions you guys want. I mean, if I don't want to answer, I'm not going to answer it.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Not bad yourself. First of all, thanks for the show. That's pretty cool. It's been like like a long time. Like I'm a good fan, and unfortunately, I'm not a bassist player, but I really like what you do. Remembers me a lot of good things from when I was. I'm 29 right now, so like back to what 2000 until 2005, 2007, something like that. Next time, I really hope you're gonna play the river, but that's okay.
Well, hey, it's noted. That is a big. There's actually a bass moment in that song, right, where it breaks down to just the bass. So that should be included in my little arsenal here.
Nice. I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Because right now I live in North America. I'm from France, so it's pretty cool here because I can find like all the different style of music I really like alternative and stuff like that. With Charlotte, obviously. Do you guys plan after COVID, hopefully, plan to do like kind of tour or something like that? And especially maybe with other bands, or I don't know, like, do you have plans for the future, or
That's a great question, and that's a question I was expecting. Yes, we still talk all the time, me and the guys, and recently in one of our most recent conversations, we talked about making a new album.
Yeah.
So that's definitely in the works. Touring, that's all up in the air right now, right? I mean, it's just kind of, we would love for things to go back to normal, and then be able to put on shows. Yeah, I think this break, and then it was like, we wanted to take a break, but then the world is making us take a break, right?
Yeah.
And now, so like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't go play bass in Good Charlotte right now. Like, even if everybody wanted to do it, it's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I believe that when things are back to normal, we will go touring again. I definitely know we're not done playing music. Uh, I'm sure somewhere in the near future there'll be a stream on Veeps. Um, because that's Benji and Joel's platform, and if we were to play a concert, I'm sure it would probably be on that first before, because touring's not happening for a long time. But I'm not sure about that either. So don't go put nothing's in stone, obviously. But
Okay.
I do know that we're not done. We're not hanging up the towel just yet.
But okay, but
Thank you.
that's
Thanks for the
I
question.
really appreciate like that kind of concept because that's pretty cool for us because most of the people right now are stuck at home. Maybe you, I don't know, but that's a good concept for us. Like to like, continue to enjoy like that like kind of show, private show like anyway. But that's pretty cool. Like thanks a lot once again.
Thank you. Yeah. No. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the question. Any other questions?
Billy says hi.
Billy says hi. Awesome.
Was on his
Yeah.
live stream
Billy's
before I hopped over.
is he streaming right now? He's turned so he's been busy trying to create a like a streaming presence on YouTube and Twitch. He's been just very music focused and trying to get out there. I've been doing other stuff. I've been school, a lot of computer science, a lot of math, and I'm actually going back to Cal, finishing up the applied mathematics degree. And while I'm doing that, I'm teaching uh, this and calculus. So I'm like tutoring calculus and teaching guitar. I actually don't have a bass class or a bass student yet. But so that's my plan until Good Charlotte wants to tour again. Is I'm going to do school and kind of just keep making websites and keep making I don't know, classes, learning. I don't this so this whole idea of like this performance. If, people that know me here know that this isn't really my bag. I'm not really one to stand out and like say, "Everybody, look at me." Maybe that's the bass player mentality that's been beaten into me. I have no idea. But Celine approached me with this idea of doing this masterclass, and I thought it was a great way to bring attention to their website, which has been a really good addition into my life. This like seamless experience of online lessons. Uh, so it's been cool. And then yeah, when she asked me about doing this, Dean does these all the time, like in person though, where he goes through songs and then talks about it. And I was like, well, maybe I could just do that. And here we are. So yeah, virtual. This is the thing now, but everybody's here.
But
So
yeah, we are glad to have you as one of our amazing teachers, and I think like because of your experience and your career and all you have been doing over those years, the fact that you can share that with students, young or advanced, intermediate, like beginners, I think it's great. So if you're interested in taking lessons with Paul, you can go to homemuse.io and get private lessons with Paul. And yeah, so that's
no, thank
it.
you,
So
and
thank you
thank you
for
guys so
yeah.
much for coming. Any more last questions before we peace out?
I was just wondering, with my experience with, at least with COVID, is because I'm in school, I'm in the band at school. I don't exactly get to play at the same time as other people. So I just was wondering I probably you've already said that actually, but do you get to play with other people very often?
No, you nailed it. Like trying to, especially over Zoom. So like when I tried to set this whole thing up, um, I thought I'd be able to play listening to the Zoom, but there's a delay, right?
Yeah,
And that delay is just going to happen. So it's really, I don't think any of the streaming services are efficient enough to have live music happening at the same time. But what can definitely happen is one person in their studio can record a song, send you the file, you upload it into your session, and then you play your part and send it back, and then we send that whole thing to somebody to mix it. And we can absolutely make an album right now because everybody in my band has a studio at their house.
But it's not
The
the same
drums would be the
thing.
trickiest part. But yeah, trying to play like together during this is really hard.
Hmm.
Like right now, my audio is like being sent from a garage band session that I have set up to Zoom, and I don't know how to get rid of the latency. So yeah, just like in time jamming. That's maybe 10 years from now they'll figure all that out. But yeah, right now that's a little hurdle. Good question though. It's definitely holding a lot back right now. This COVID-19, the COVID,
Yeah.
Corona.
But that's better than nothing, right? We can still enjoy and play music.
Yeah, I mean, life is a blessing. Every day you're here is something
Yeah.
special. So as long as you can try to keep that mentality, no matter what's going on, yeah, then there you go. That's how I try to roll through this thing.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Your son looks a lot like you.
I know. Well, thank you so much, Paul. That was amazing. That was great. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I think like the same for everyone. Yeah, I see you get a lot of emojis, applause, and so I hope you we can do that again soon. And thank you everyone for coming. That was nice. That was a good moment,
I
actually.
see you. I see you down there. All right, sorry, some cheeky monkeys here. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
For
Thank you
the
so
other
much.
faces that I know down there. Thanks, guys. It's great seeing you. I miss you. Hope to see you at shows soon.
Yeah.
All right, Celine.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Until later.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.